Okay, so mathematicians, math players in the game, we're going to stick this out here and we're actually going to do this up. Hopefully, we're going to base some of the mechanics. I know Penzero left a couple of them on the table by not actually working out a problem in the cosmological constant. However, using this math, you're going to understand very specifically, just real quickly in shorthand here, um, why it's acceptable against my field theory and articulation speaking against a zero-based cosmological constant, always building from base code in the matrix, always building out, regardless of what technique, symbol, system, fancy thing out there that's not homogeneous but homogeneous with the universe and dimensional analysis. But twistor theory, or well, what would be fundamental analysis, dimensional theory, and or dimensional analysis and comprehensive analysis, complete analysis, whatever these wind up being, is the appropriate model. See, when I'm doing my Mario Lagrangian Mario Maker HTT Lucy for purple, blue, green, orange, numbers, letters, position, spaces, key reference symbols to prime models, what they're talking about is this type of material. So yes, while it is vacuum space at that crystalline structure, there's lots of standard models where the specifics of that twistor, that Epson sphere, and how we generate energy off of this wave, right? It's just colors and lights and sounds and spectrums coming at you, but it's also a Riemann sphere. This is A, B, C, tan, so cosine, and so what that allows me to do is then vector it with a Lagrangian uh, dimensional analysis. Now, we're just using that as our thesis, yes? It's not actually what it is. The mathematics behind that going to be this here. Essentially, I would use this not as base code because it's not the binary matrix, it's what describes it. But I need the special relativity first. If we can do that, we're going to say any symbol, any shape, and it'll eventually play the same rules as any model because that's an observable time frame. It's an observable space function. It gives me values, gives me appropriations, the points on Marshmallow's Danger Noodle. So let's go again and break this through. I encourage you, I'm not going to use all of this material potentially. I might just break it down to 24 instead of 36. There's a lot of write-outs and things like that that start to talk about types of equations that hopefully we can talk about the symmetry structure here to actually begin to quantify in a teaching aid why it's critical to kind of describe it in this matrixing form. Now, when I'm all done, you'll actually have the twistor here in the middle, and I'm going to draw that like the spin direction. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these concepts coming across. Like I said, we'll have twistor in 5, and then we're going to actually break down. That'll be next to 5 on 6. We're actually going to break down this graph as a part of this function, because what are we doing? We're saying n1 half in the first part. 1, 2, 3, 0 square, 0, s, or another system. Well, there's really only 2 going on in there, right? So whatever I'm doing for the stone mill also works this way when I choose to break it down in those kinds of vectors. Scale is important. Squishiness that says I can have that shape. It doesn't need to be that object, that little house, or Mario, right? But I can still apply this Laplacian metrics to it. You know, it's like this would be their technique. This would be somebody saying lambda. So when we get into some of these equations later, some of this heavy stuff that's, Einsteinian field theory equation, right? Or vacuum, Einsteinian vacuum, I think is what this one is. Field theory vacuum. Infinity twistor, complex. Yeah, it's usually checking somebody's complex. What do you mean? Like, do you understand I'm your teacher? If I tell you to dance monkey, you fucking dance. These are going to be important. I know the end result. I would know students. I would know systems. I would have to test this model on things. Did it once. Did it twice. Did it 3 times, which is the first set of the first part of that dance you gotta do. Alright. Yes, Judo, I'll let you out in just a minute. See, I might glaze over some of this. It's important stuff in twister theory. Great for Penzero. Anti-Bell's equality over here. I forget which one he calls it. What does he call it? He got this. Where is it? Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it fast enough. I think it was actually up in here. Here we go. Well, anyways, you get into some, here, having mass, being 0, local universes. I can only go from R. And, and it's going to be in this direction from here, go. Now, if you change that, you walk on a line, right, in the mass gap between the bunny lambda calc, this thing going, bing, I hop over here using magnetism, taking it from this point of view, I can use that map differently. I could say mathematically it works great, or quantifying some value, or area percentage in the pie, or the, what do they call them, not the pie graph, but the Venn diagram over here. Johnny's people, Larry's people, and they got people in common that are upside down pineapple cake on it, is the fucking cosmic radiation background on Ying's Meal's mass gap. So that's what we'll be doing with it. I could probably slide some of these in here. Some of them are a little bit more complicated write-outs that do need to be in there. And so I'm going to have to change some scale. These ones aren't going to be in the bricks. I'm going to use a 2x brick on this one. Put 4 of them in it. We're going to change off the bottom axis is where the black holes and the ball bearing factory is running on there. And yeah, so we're going to get into that. But again, if you're paying attention here, you see how well this is laid in there. That wave function particle 50 cal slap round experiment on target for, I'm looking around the room. Who doesn't understand what zeta is? Alpha. Infinity, pi, y. It's in the certain portions of positions for cicada to tell me which route I'm taking when you start in an A set, building from 0, vacuum space. Starting out here, Lagrangian to dimensional analysis, just days, weeks, years to find out seconds, right? Or whatever value compounds that model, sometimes very specific in terms of up, anti-up, and just fundamentally going through all the physics engine droid stuff at the social psychological level. When somebody says, well, I thought I was here for math, not a philosophy class. Well, FMA, trebuchet, terminal velocity, buddy, you got to do 1 + 1 because math. Catch you next one.